Upon further reflection, last night's performance, what do you make of it?
I thought it was a decent start for us. You know, we were playing a lot of young players and giving some players a chance, and I thought they took their chance and performed quite well. That's encouraging to see that they could play at this level. Maybe not 28-game season, but you can definitely step in and do a job. So that was very important. In terms of possession, you know, we had a clear idea. We were trying to build out of the back and trying to get into the next line. We just sort of ran out of some ideas once we got into the edge of the attacking third, which is an area that we need to improve. It was unfortunate to give up a goal as we did on the set piece with the long throw-in and then a scramble in the box. It was something that we analyzed beforehand and set the team up to combat against that, but it's just one of those plays where we have to be a little bit better because in the end, at the higher levels of football, set pieces can decide games, and that was what happened last night.
The reception, the atmosphere seemed incredible. Almost 900 people there in attendance. Were you surprised to see that?
I think the club did a fantastic job, you know, marketing the team. The team had a few results, so that sort of brought some interest. You know, the mayor came out and showed support. The president of the OSA, first team staff was out there watching the game, as well as a lot of friends and family of the parents. So I thought it was a good start, you know, and a good little atmosphere. The supporters group, I'm not sure which one it was, but they were quite vocal all night and pushing on the boys. So that was very encouraging to see, and hopefully it gets better as we move forward.
A quick turnaround for you, another game this weekend. You said that something you need to work on is making that decision making in the final third. Is that going to be your main emphasis heading into that match?
Yeah, we'll give throughout the day. I'll be breaking down video of the game last night and maybe just picking out a few moments where we were forcing the final pass when it wasn't really on to force it. So it hurt us in terms of building a bit of a rhythm, but also just our runs in the attacking third and trying to unbalance the opposition is important. So showing them, also talking about it. You know, it's a short turnaround before we play, so we can't do a hell of a lot of training on it, but just trying to make the boys more aware of those situations so that when they get in them in the future, we make better decisions.
That matchup will come against Rochester. The last time you two met, it was a 0-0 draw. What do you remember from that matchup that maybe you can tweak in this one?
I thought we had quite a bit of the ball in that game as the game went on, and chances were far and few between. They're a very organized team defensively. They don't give up very many goals. They play a very settled team in terms of their starting 11. I watched their game against Charleston, a 0-0 just over a week ago, and they played a 4-1-4-1 system. So I'm not sure if they're going to play that system or they're going to play 4-4-2 like they did back at that game at BMO Field. So all I know is that they're a very organized team. They're a hard-working team, physical, very experienced. The boy Forbes, Jamaican, number 21, is very explosive on the wings. He's a threat. Mendoza on the left wing, number 11, is very dangerous and likes to come inside. Who they play up the front could be Valesky, it could be the striker De Santos, I'm not sure. But their back line is pretty settled, so it's a difficult team to play against. You know, we know they're undefeated, but that should bring huge motivation for us to try and give them their first blemish on their results.
Talk about the growth of your two goalkeepers.
I think it's healthy competition. I know John Conway wanted to get them to this point where it doesn't matter who steps in, they're competing and doing quite well and performing in games. They're making saves that they need to make to keep the team in the game. So I think it's healthy competition week in and week out to prove who should get the shirt for the match day. So we're pleased that we have two good young goalkeepers that are relatively the same age, pushing each other and pushing the first team goalkeepers. So I think we're in a good spot.
I know there's a lot of communication throughout the club. Do you get the sense, especially for the senior academy boys, that the presence of TFC2 is an extra motivator for them?
Huge. I mean, when you see Liam Fraser, Gabby Boaki, and Malik Johnson starting the game yesterday, making their full debuts for two of them, I think that's huge motivation. So the work that they're doing with Stuart Neely and also into the PDL division is important. You know, that sort of toughens them up for this, and they didn't look fazed by the occasion yesterday. Maybe a little bit of nerves to start off with, but they settled into a game, and that should be massive motivation for not just the senior academy, but all the young players coming through underneath it.